I wasn't thinking, oh, they're going to be the next big thing or anything like that. It was something different for me because I never worked with a girl band per se. And yeah, we just like hanging out and jamming. And it's like everyone wanted the All Saints record, but All Saints record only happens when it's me, Shaznay, Mel, Nat and Nick in a room together. That's how you get that. So after they'd done the tour with Backstreet Boys, and they got on really well after that, and they were like, oh, do you know what, we've missed this. Because they actually asked me to come on the tour, and I said, if we're going to make a new record, then I'll come on the tour. But then they were kind of like, well, whatever. Anyway, they went on the tour, come back off. I think they got the fire again. And then Shaz started writing songs. I think she was working with a few other producers and stuff. And they did come to me eventually and say, yo, do you want to get in the studio? And I said, look, do you know what? Just do your thing. Work with other producers and just do what you're doing, and then we'll talk. It wasn't that I didn't want to get involved. It was just I want them to just do their thing and then come to me naturally rather than thinking that they had to ask me. Do you know what I mean? So then anyway, we went in the studio and yeah, man, we just took it back to the old school, man. Just went and just did what we did before, and it was less pressure this time because there's no A&R involved again. So, and it was the chemistry between me and Shaz and Mel and the two sisters, Nat and Nick. And it just felt, it was comfortable. Do you know what I mean? And because they'd have already been in the studio with some other guys before, I kind of got a sense of where they were at with the songwriting and all that kind of stuff. And it was good to be able to sit back and then come in afterwards. And then in the end, when I started doing my stuff and the whole All Saints sound emerged again, then they said, oh, maybe you should executive produce the record and oversee the whole thing, because it's got, now it sounds like a proper All Saints record, how it should be. And the 90s thing was coming back somehow. You know, everything started to get, nostalgia was like in the air everywhere. And again, right timing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't forced or anything like that, or it wasn't done for money or this or that. It was, oh, let's get back in the studio, man, like we used to. I wasn't, being an executive producer wasn't even in my head when I came in to work with them. It was just, I was just going to go and do my thing. And that's when I think they were all like, oh yeah, actually this is it now. This is more what we're trying to do. So they were then like, so when we agreed that I was going to be the executive producer, so that meant the tracks that they liked, the songs they liked from before, they liked the songs and they liked some of the music, but they needed that All Saints flavour on it. And that's kind of where I came in and got that role, was just to make it one cohesive kind of sound, make it All Saints basically. So I think Shaz was just writing. I don't think she was even thinking it was going to be for All Saints at first, because she writes with lots of different people anyway. So I think she just had a collection of songs and was like, and then when the girls finally did think about making a record, she had songs there already. But because I wasn't involved, maybe they weren't sounding as All Saintsy as they should be. It just sounded like some producer with a Shaz song on it. So again, like I said, when I started doing my thing, I just had to go and put that flavour on some of the songs that she had from before, which were great. But yeah, there was no real like plan really, to be honest. And I think it might have been 4 songs that Shaz had from before that made it to the record. Some I had to do more to than others, and then I think it was one song I didn't do anything at all on it. Actually on Red Flag, I was banging it on the table. Do you know what I mean? And I like the sound of it, so I just recorded it, and it kind of gives it that tribal feel. And I think the same with Tribal as well. It's just the kind of sound of the drums that I use, and Shaz really liked it as a kind of theme. And I think there's probably that vibe on a couple of songs. Just again, we just liked it. There was no real thing like, let's make it tribally. It wasn't like that. See, I didn't worry too much about the subject matter of the song. It was more the vibe as a whole, and then seeing what fits. But a lot of the time Shaz would just come in and just sing a melody and put it down without no music, and then I'd build something around it, and then I'd give it back to her, and then she'd go, oh shit, okay, and rewrite this part and da-da-da, and then I'd do a bit more to production, and then there's your song. So it happened different ways, or I'd have a beat and I'd give it to her, and then she'd write something over it and send it back, and then we'd come in and we'd mess around with it. So it's all how we used to write, basically. So Shaz came to the studio and she goes, I got this tune, and I goes, all right, sing it to me then. And all she had was that ratchet behaviour. I was like, is that it? And she was like, yeah, just put it down. And I was like, all right. So she laid it down, and obviously she had this whole idea in her head. And so I put down the backing track, and somehow it came out kind of dancehall. And then Shaz wrote the rest of the song, blah blah blah. And then I thought, we should get someone on it, man, like a female kind of MC. And we went for someone else at first, and the girl didn't like it. And I'd worked with Cleo as Miss Brat from before, and I'd recently seen her like a few weeks before that, and I think, yeah, and she played me some of her new demos, and they were dope. And I was like, oh shit, she's wicked, she sounds great now. So I said to the girls, listen, let me get this girl on it and see what you think. And then she jumped on it, and they loved it. So yeah, sometimes the production wasn't quite right, and I couldn't figure out what it was that was wrong. And then maybe it was like something in the melody that I didn't like, or the beat I didn't like, or the girls didn't like something I did, or I didn't like something they did. And then it was just going back and forth, but which is actually, it's annoying, but it's great because you get the best record that way. Do you know what I mean? When both of you can say, yeah, it's great, then you know you've got it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're the difficult records to make when it's both headed in two different fucking directions. But then finally, when you get there, it was worth all the pain. Because we'd actually not have the arguments in the studio, but differences of opinion. And I think it's probably one of their best. But funny enough, since it's come out, I ain't listened to it, because I spent 9 months listening to it every fucking day. So it's like, I think probably when it came out, just to listen to it, how it was mastered and stuff, I listened to it. But because I listened to it so many times, I haven't listened to it for a while actually. But I remember last time I did, I left it a few months and I was like, actually, this is really good. But you have to step away from it for a minute. Like, I'd probably appreciate it now. Actually, because we've been talking about it, I'm going to listen to it again. And I'm sure I'll be like, actually, this is dope. Do you know what I mean? Because it felt good at the time. But after you've killed it, do you know what I mean? And you've done 20 mixes of each song and all that kind of shit, it's like, you're just happy when it's out. Do you know what I mean? And it's good to get all the feedback. But I pretty much leave it alone after that. And when you start to get older, you realise how time flies, man. Like, from that first record to now, it's 20 years, some shit like that. And it's like, I know what I like, I know what I don't like. I stick to things that I like. And that peace of mind is priceless.